we're looking at the top trails in the country.
I think this is the obvious place we got to start out. It's got your running community. Not that small of a town, but it's small enough of a town where you feel like you know everybody.
I mean, Eugene was hippie town a long time ago, and it's still a pretty crazy place.
I think we're in a really unique spot. People come from all over the world on a pilgrimage to Eugene because of our reputation as the center of the running universe.
I moved out to Eugene in the fall, so that was an amazing opportunity I got given, and it's been great, and I love Eugene.
I mean, it used to be said when I moved into town that if you could see Spencer Butte, it was about to rain, and if you couldn't see it, it was raining.
We're here at the Wild Duck after a race or a run in Eugene. This is a spot to be at. What can you recommend in terms of beers from Eugene?
We got a few.
I feel like people come to Eugene for two reasons: running and beer.
Those are actually pretty much the two reasons I come to Eugene.
From what I've heard, Oregon has the most breweries per capita of anywhere in America.
Yeah, just down in the Whitaker district. We went and drove by, checked out a few of them. Then a couple block radius, you got like 5 right there. It's all good stuff.
It's awesome how so many of the restaurants around town are centered around running. And so you're coming after your run and you're going to Track Town or you're coming to Wild Duck and you're running into other runners while you're here.
And you see all the pros around town all converge into this spot after the meets. There's post-meet shows, so it's a fun place to be.
It seems to me like after every big competition I'm down here, it's kind of the running hub, or at least the after party hub. Hey Charlotte, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Hey.
This is Callie.
Oh, hey Callie.
Hey,
What's up?
we do runs together in the morning.
Yeah, so I know you're a pretty decorated athlete. Talk a little bit about your career.
I grew up in England, the South Coast, and I started running with my dad when I was really young. Yeah, I first came to Eugene in 2010. They hosted the NCAA championships, and I won the 1500, so that was an amazing experience, and it's so good to be back here and living here in town.
And you live right by Amazon Trail,
Yeah, I
don't you?
live like 100 meters from Amazon Trail, so it's like perfect. And we do a lot of our workouts at South Eugene High School track, so that's like a couple hundred meters away. It's great.
Right out the door. Great, well yeah, let's hit the trail, huh?
Yeah, great. So this is the end of the Rexius Trail. So I run here, pretty much every day, and then just over here is the start of the Ridgeline. So it's only about 100 meters and it connects,
Nice.
which is pretty sweet. Hop right on there. I think the best thing about Eugene from a runner standpoint is that we can run out the door. So we have trail systems out the door that all connect to each other. So there's miles of trails everywhere, and it's really a unique place to live for a runner. Like, we don't have to drive anywhere, and we can run our long run just straight out the door. The running culture in Eugene is something that I've never experienced anywhere else. It's amazing. Obviously it's got OTC Elite here and Team Run Eugene, and there's a lot of ultra running community here as well. And outside of the elite athletes here, there's just such a big community of running fans. Everyone's so friendly and everyone wants to support each other.
Well, my wife and I moved here in 1993. My wife had a professional running career. I'm very proud of her, of course, but she felt that she had to live in Eugene to get to the next level. And so that was the impetus that moved us to Eugene. And it's such a great place. We have no intention of leaving.
Yeah.
The store's been very good to us. We've been open almost 11 years now, and it's been a lot of fun. Let me walk you through some of the history. One of my favorite treasures is in the upper left-hand corner. It's the first issue of Runner's World magazine, that black and white magazine. This flag is a great story. In 1972, it was the first of 3 Olympic trials in a row in Eugene. And that flag flew over Hayward Field. This is one of the early Butte to Butte races, 1974. An unprecedented field up front with the 2 McChesney brothers, with Tom HEINONEN, with Mike Manley, 72 Olympian, Kenny Moore I see in there. In 1973, John Anderson from Eugene won the Boston Marathon. His dad was the mayor of Eugene. His dad was so excited that his son won the Boston Marathon, they basically passed the initiative to build the bike paths on both sides of the river. Really, it's the genesis of what makes Eugene such a great running community, is that connection between Pre's Trail, the bike paths, and the university all connected in one runner's paradise. I mean, did you get one of our maps?
Oh, yeah.
Let me give you one of our maps on all of our bark chip trails. Pre's Trail being, of course, the most famous, but this map that we produce in conjunction with the Oregon Track Club really shows all the engineered running trails in Eugene. The best of the best migrate to Eugene because of our trail system. Whether it's Pre's Trail, which is great for your easy day runs, or whether it's the Amazon Trail, which is really groomed, as you know, flat and wide bark chip trail with lights, or you can head up into Hendricks Park and run the Ridgeline Trail, wandering through the Ridgeline Trail system on a long run for 20 miles through old growth forest and meandering up and down hills. It's a little something for everybody, but I think it's unique. And I can tell you, over the last 10 years, we've been on an ascent that is really unprecedented anywhere in the world. And if you spend enough time on Pre's Trail, you're going to see everybody that's anybody in American distance running at some point.
So where are we headed right now?
We're headed right over the canal onto the middle loop of Pre's Trails, and this is where we do a lot of our work. This loop is about a K around, just under. We don't worry about the distance when you're training out here on the trails. I mean, any trail running, what you're looking for is, just a change of environment, to get away from the roads, to focus on what you're doing, and then underfoot, this protects you.
Hey, Andrew.
Hi, guys. What's up?
Andrew Weeding McFleet just run by. It's a interesting thing walking around the trails in Eugene. You see Olympians, NCAA champions. Talk a little bit about that. I mean, we're out here on Pre's Trail.
It's a little bit like Hollywood, in as much as, in Hollywood, the stars are just left alone. And it's very much the same around Eugene. You see lots of stars running on the track and trail, but nobody goes, oh, look, that's so-and-so or whatever, because they're there all the time. And so I think for athletes, elite athletes in particular, it's great to base themselves in Eugene because you can focus on that training.
So we're here on Pre's Trail, a great spot to get in some high-level training, but Ridgeline, which we're visiting and going on a run with Charlotte Browning, is really unique, not easy running. There are races held there. I know there's one coming up soon, Ridgeline Ramble.
Well, the Ridgeline Ramble is a 20K, which can either be done individually or in a relay, and it's also a 10K event. And so that pretty much takes in the majority of the Ridgeline Trail.
After we won the NCAA title in Austin, Texas, we got off the plane. We ran the gamut of cheerleaders and marching band and all those spectators, and we came straight to Tracktown Pizza to celebrate.
What do you normally get, Tom?
How can you pass up decathlon? We got to do it. Look at all the stuff it's got.
You can't pass it up.
Oh, man.
Not at Tracktown.
But that work?
Yeah. Perfect. All right, let's eat some pizza. We should probably pay too, right?
Hey, I left my wallet. Yes.
Oh. Tom, how long have you been in Eugene for?
I met my wife here at the 1972 Olympic trials. Women's athletics became part of the athletic department in 1977. Within a couple of years, quickly built our own mystique and our own history, and we're pretty good for a long time.
We're here in Eugene taking a look at the trails. So can you talk a little bit about how the trails facilitated high-level training?
Well, I think every place uses what they've got. When Pre was here, there were no trails. You know, thanks to Pre going to Scandinavia and seeing trails. I mean, they're here because he had the voice. He had the power to say, we need to do this. With Rexius Trail and Amazon Trail, just a half-mile apart on the south side of the campus, and then Pre's Trail across the river. Those are pretty good surfaces. Plus, Ridgeline's a great place. It's a good place for a nice, relaxed run. It's a good place for a run when it's hot out.
And going up to Spencer.
That's a mile straight uphill, isn't it? I never do that. You gotta be crazy to do that.
We started today on the trail at Rexius and then hit Ridgeline and ran up the west side of Spencer Butte. I love running on the trails because, you know, you're outside and you're with the nature, and it's just really nice, especially with the Eugene climate. It's so lush and beautiful that, you know, any time of the year we can run outside. I think in England, my experience of running in England, it's been a lot of big parks. You know, in London we'll have Bushy Park and Richmond Park, and all around the country there'll be different parks, but there's not really the technical trails. There's not like the thin trails through the woods. It's not really what I would say is trail running like it is in Eugene. Yeah, it got a little difficult at the end there, but it was really good, and the view is just absolutely beautiful. I'm just so grateful to live in such an amazing place, and you know, it's just incredible.